Okay, this is going to show you. This is the parking lot here, right here at the National Trolley Museum, right here. They have a little parking lot right. And this is just going to show you the area that it's in. As you can see, they have a lot of really nice trees and things here as well. This is the main building where the museum and everything is here. And as I come around here, you're going to see that they have a trolley house here in the corner. That's where they keep all the trolleys and everything that they restore and everything in there as well. And this is the little layout that they have that goes around. Now this actually goes through the forest and things. The layout actually goes back a little ways as well. So you'll be able to get a chance to see what the trolley looks like later on. I'll show you some pictures of that as well. Okay, so that basically shows you where the trolley museum's at and what the area looks like that it's in. Let's see some of the inside, shall we? Okay, I just wanted to show you some pictures of what it looks like when you come into the action area itself. You have a ticket window here where you pay for your tickets. You actually pay for your tickets here inside the museum shop when you go inside. That's where you actually pay for your tickets. Now, the current price for tickets right now, for me, it costs $7. If you're a senior, you actually get a discount. It's $5. If you want to check the latest price for tickets and various things too, you can go to the National Trolley Museum website. They have a very, very nice website on there as well. They'll tell you about the current ticket prices and various things such as hours and other things as well. Let's go check out the museum, shall we? Alright guys, this is just a little history on the wall here they have here at the Trolley Museum. It tells you about the history of the trolleys. Now, as you're watching the video, you can go ahead and pause it if you need to read the different images on the screen. I'm going to try to get as much as I can for you. Sorry. No, you're okay, you're good. That's okay. So as you can see, the thing that's really nice about the Trolley Museum, one of the things I value a lot is they have a lot of really neat information and really, really nice displays. When they have their old location, they didn't have as much room as they do now, and that's one of the things that's really nice if you come in here and see it. You see all the different things they have here, all the room and stuff that they have. See, it tells you about the history of how cable power became in, you know, where they got started and everything too. And there's a lot of other exhibits too I'm going to show you when we're in here as well. Okay, so that's the history wall when you come in. You actually get a chance to see when you come in the museum. It's on the right-hand side. See that? Like that? See, then I show this one. See how I do that? I just make a little thing on it. See that? Then that way people can read on the thing. I go by a little bit more on that one. See there, Mom? See how I do that? And then I just do it like that. See? See that? They just go right along there just like that. Show all the different exhibits and things they have. They really have a nice gallery here. This is much nicer than their old location. You know, Mom? Let's get these three in here while we're here. It's not going to take me long. These are different models, Mom, they have. You see all the different models they have here? See all the different models they have here, streetcars they have? Isn't that cool? I wanted to show you that's pretty cool too. They actually have a little trolley layout here that actually has trolleys and things that go back and forth inside. Now this is one of the nice improvements they had from the old one. The old location they had didn't have an exhibit quite like this. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. But as you can see, they actually have little trolley cars that actually run around here. You guys see they have a little layout here, and along the way they have little things you can do here if you want to generate electricity and make everything run. You can see it's pretty cool. So I'm going to go and show you what that little layout looks like. So you see that have a nice little backdrop there, and it just shows you where the trolley and everything goes.
It's going to go by us. It's going to get to the station. We're going to go. Are you listening to me? Okay, Jonathan, let's see what's flipping this way.
So as you can see, the trolley goes all the way to the back there, and then it turns around and comes back the other direction. Then once it enters this section, then it turns back and it goes back around the other side. Okay, we're now going to get a chance to check out that streetcar hall that I showed you in the photos where they keep all their streetcars. And this is a collection that they maintain here. They put a lot of effort into maintaining these cars.
Pretty dark and it's pretty warm.
Oh, so these are too old to ride.
Well, two of them are, but the rest of them all work. We don't take them all out, but the rest of them work.
Wow.
The blue one right there doesn't work.
That's really something, isn't it, Mom? Look at all this. Huh?
I remember him.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same size right next to this. They have
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
where we keep the streetcars that we're taking out regularly, or if we're repairing.
Yeah, look how nicely maintained they are, huh?
Two in the corner here for the go out on the weekend.
Yeah, as you can see, they really go to a lot of trouble here to maintain all these. It's a lot of work, too.
Okay, so the first streetcars, the first electric streetcars were in 1888, and that is before cities were electrified. It is before the automobile was in use, before internal combustion engines were used, so we didn't have trucks, we didn't have tractors. Let's not touch a streetcar.
Look, Mom, see now they're in the this one here, they're in the process of restoring. See here now, how they're in the process of restoring that one?
Were for passengers, but they also needed streetcars that did special things. And if they had streetcars that were not for passengers, they painted them a different color. So that streetcar over there with all the stripes on it is not for passengers. It's a rolling workshop. It has tools in it. It has parts. It has a bumper on it, so it can push or pull. It could go out. Otherwise, all they could do is send out a horse and wagon. This streetcar, we have three streetcars from Washington, D.C. These three blue or greenish ones.
And it looks like that one's undergoing restoration,
We
huh?
don't have any horses here. No.
Yeah, so it looks like those.
And that streetcar is also from Washington, D.C. This is the oldest streetcar in the room. The red one. And it is not for passengers. And we know that because it's painted red, but all the other streetcars were painted green. This one gets the snow off the tracks. Has these
Wow.
big brushes in the front. These go round and round. I'm not going to touch them, we're just going to look at them. They can, this chain can let them lower it. They've got a way from inside the streetcar to let this go down, and then they can turn it
That
off
is amazing.
and they can go day that it snowed, and the streetcar is getting the snow off the tracks, and there are two other passenger streetcars right behind it, and there's a lot more streetcars back here, and there aren't any cars, just the streetcars. And this is how the streetcar comes in on that big truck and then go around.
Wow.
Yes, yes. Streetcars are 1899.
As you can see, it's a pretty extensive collection here. It's pretty amazing. Now, at the old location, I wanted to point out they didn't have a hall like this at the old location. This is something they added with the new location, which I think is absolutely wonderful to have.
Which only needed a driver, because they put all the controls on the floor by then. Otherwise, the controls were by hand. And even in the 30s, they were still building some streetcars.
How long? Where do they do when they restore the streetcars? Is that done in here? Or is that done in the shop next door? Like when they do the restorations on these?
This is just for display. The
So-
shop next door does restoration, or else we do it offsite.
Yeah, it's amazing work you all done.
Some work is done offsite.
Yeah. So as you can see now, this is the main hall where they show you the cars that they currently have. There's a hall next to this where they actually do the restoration, and that's one of the things that they take great pride in here is doing the restoration on all these cars. As you can see, here's a car here that's undergoing getting ready probably to go next door to be restored as well.
We call it cavalcade for streetcars, cavalcade streetcars, and if this one is operational, sometimes there's something wrong.
Okay, next I'll show you the outside of the building on the next part. Okay, yeah, we're actually going to go ahead and take a little ride on the trolley here. I'm going to show you. We're going to do the trolley ride here at the museum here as well. See, now I'll just let that run. See my. How you doing, sir? How are you? How you doing? Huh? So, what year trolley are you riding on today?
This was a 1950 St. Louis Car Company trolley that ran in Toronto, Canada.
Okay, so as you can see now, they have trolleys here that they fully restored that they operate on this layout here, and we're going to take a little trolley
I can't
tour.
hear you, I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh, I was gonna say, what was that again? What type of trolley was that again?
This is a St. Louis Car Company trolley built in 1950.
Okay.
And it ran in Toronto from 51 to 94.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thanks for your help. Yeah, so we're actually gonna go ahead and take a trolley ride. Okay.
It's hot and humid. Streetcars were not air conditioned. Well, pardon? Okay, thank you. They used what they called the 20-40 system. 20 windows open, 40 miles an hour. That was it. Now they were heated in the wintertime. They used the surplus electricity from the motors to heat. But in the summertime, hot and sticky. Oh, what's the matter?
So what do you think? Well, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Huh?
This is a 1950.
We're waiting for a couple more passengers, and then we'll go.
While we're stopped here, I'll just give you a tour to show you what the inside of the trolley car looks like.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's pretty amazing. Now these are original trolley cars that they've restored. It takes a lot of work to restore these, but that's one of the things that's really nice about this museum is they take the time and effort needed to restore these. They also have a trolley car house that they store a number of the trolleys in as well. I'm going to try to show that to you later on.
I'll sit behind you. Okay, I'd like to welcome you all. We're going to go for a 2-mile trolley ride out into Northwest Branch Park. Halfway I stop and punch your tickets and then tell you a little bit about streetcars, a little bit about this streetcar, and then we come back after you get a chance to ask questions. Okay? So, we have 2 rules. You have to stay in your seat the whole time, and you can't go putting arms or hands or elbows out the windows. Okay? We good? All right. Are you ready to go? All right.
Ready? You have your ticket. Yeah, this is one of the things that I love about the Trolley Museum, and I did this before when at the old location, but the new layout is much more longer than the old one was, and I think you're going to find it's pretty scenic too.
Whoa. It does go fast.
So what do you think? Am I having a good time? Huh?
Yes, I miss my companion. I miss my...
Now just think, this is how they used to ride trolleys back in the day. This is how we got around Washington. Huh?
Oh no, the bird.
See, he's got to stop over there.
Now that building on the right, that's the trolley house. You're going to see there's trolleys inside that building. I'm going to try to show you pictures of that later on as well. Ooh, it feels good, doesn't it, Mom? Nice and breezy, huh? And the thing I want to point out too is that there are overhead lines that run above the trolley that power this with electric, just like they were back in the day too.
Pretty awesome, guys.
It's beautiful, isn't it, Mom? Huh? Look at the tree. Look how pretty that is there. Look. See how the trees go through there? Huh?
It is pretty.
I like I like all the trees. They did a nice job with the layout here too, huh? Yep, this is how you used to get around, Mom. Huh?
I used to ride the trolley through.
Oh yeah? Was it like this? Yeah. Where'd you ride the trolley at when you were?
Allentown.
Yeah. It's a nice day for it, isn't it, huh?
Now, isn't it fun? It's awesome, right? Stop there,
See, they have a passing siding. See the passing siding? Oh, wait, there's one coming the other way. See that, Mom? Oh, that's beautiful. Look how pretty that is, huh? Wow. They're pretty amazing, aren't they? There's interesting people got all around with these, huh?
Sam, you remember? Do you remember your first ride out?
So how old were you, Mom, when you rode the trolley cars in Allentown?
Maybe today. Sometimes they have different ones.
Maybe 6 or 7.
Huh?
6 or 7 years.
Wow.
We'll ask.
Well, I can tell you that the first time I checked out the Trolley Car Museum, it's probably been about 10 years ago. Now, the old trolley museum that they had, they actually had to move because when they built the intercounty connector, they actually had to move the location of the trolley museum to where they're currently at now. The trolley museum, they've had a fairly long history too. They actually had years and years ago when they were at their old location, they actually had a fire that destroyed the trolley house that they used to have, the old trolley house at their old location. They actually were able to come back from that and rebuild from that, even after all that happened. And then they moved to the new location they're at now. So you see, it's a pretty amazing thing to take. My mom certainly is having a good time, aren't you, Mom? You having fun, Mom? Huh? Couldn't pick a nicer day, could you? Huh? I love the way the trees come up to the side. Isn't that nice? I see the old one didn't have a nice ride light. It wasn't as nice as that. Yeah, well.
This is where we punch tickets. If you'll have your tickets ready for me, please. Thank you.
You want yours? Here's yours. Here's yours. Sam, you want yours?
Oop.
You
Good,
want
good.
yours? Sam.
And these are our tickets to ride the trolley.
Cool.
As you can see, they have nice little
Thank
tickets
you.
here as well.
Hold on to it. Let down.
Thank you.
You have to wait till we get back.
Thank you.
Okay, and as you can see, they really stamp your tickets too. See, that's one of the things that's cool too. I like.
Thank you.
See that? They really put little stamps in your tickets there, as you can see.
Thank you.
See that? Cool, homie. It is beautiful, isn't it? Look at that, how pretty that scenery is. Isn't that nice? Well, you pointed out it went through the trees. Remember you said?
The earliest streetcars were pulled by horses. 1830s, New York City. They developed the streetcar because the city's gotten so big that it was too far to walk. So they put rails in the streets and had the coach pulled by horses, and it worked fine. It's just that horses made a mess in the streets. You know what I mean? They went to the bathroom in the streets. And it wasn't just the horses pulling the streetcar. There were a lot of other horses. So they thought, what can we do to get rid of the mess? Well, we got to get rid of the horses. Well, what can we have pull a streetcar if we're not using horses? And for a while they came up with the idea of cable cars, where there'd be a cable or like a steel rope in the street, and it'd be powered by a big steam engine, and it would make the cable move, so that the man on the cable car just pulled a big lever that caused the streetcar to grab onto that cable, and as the cable's moving, it pulls the streetcar. Well, it didn't work in Washington because a lot of the streets aren't just your regular grid streets. There were some really, really tight turns where the cable would kink, and it would stop like a big knot. And when it stopped, every streetcar on the cable stopped. Well, with the invention of electric streetcars in 1888, the city of Washington decided they're going to change. So in the 1890s, they went to electric streetcars. And electric streetcars then became known as trolley cars because on our roof, there's a pole that goes up to the electric wire, and it's called a trolley pole. And trolley poles then gave their name then to trolley cars. A streetcar with a trolley pole was a trolley car.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Okay? So anything that runs on the street is a streetcar, be it a horse car, cable car, or a trolley car. Okay? Well, they were very popular, especially in the days before there were automobiles and trucks and buses and airplanes. But why did Washington get rid of them in 1962? Well, it's because Congress, which ran the city, said no more streetcars. So that's when our organization was founded in the 1950s. We're a non-profit private corporation full of volunteers. We're all volunteers. We came out here, got permission from Montgomery County to use this piece of park. We put in 2 buildings for the cars, a visitor center, laid a mile of track, and put up a mile of wire. And we opened the public then in 1969. It's okay. Any questions for me? Yes. It's okay. We have 18 streetcars in the collection. The earliest one dates from 1898 in Washington. It ran in Georgetown. The newest one dates from 1974. Question?
Why did they get rid of the horses?
Well, it's because the horses made a mess in the street and they were expensive.
And why did the horses run?
Why do the horses what?
Run.
Why do they run? I guess they're trying to get rid of excess energy. It's like kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had
Yes.
a question. When they were running in Washington, how many streetcars were actually running at the same time on the streets when they were at the height
At
height of
peak?
the the
That's
peak?
a good question that I can't answer. I don't know. I imagine it would depend on what year you're talking about. Yeah, it would probably depend on what year. But I have no way of answering that.
Oh, okay.
Anybody else have a question? Yes, sir.
Was the peak for streetcars in DC, was that around the 1930s or 40s? Around that time?
The absolute peak would probably be in the 1920s. And,
Oh wow.
and by the late 20s, early 30s, you started having buses and cars in great numbers, which took away some of the ridership. The Depression of the 30s took away some more ridership because people didn't have money. But the first 4 years or 5 years of the 40s, when you couldn't get gas because it was rationed for the war, you couldn't get tires because it was rationed. They were rationed for the war. Everybody was riding trolley cars.
Yeah.
And the streetcar company, anything that ran wound up being brought out onto the street.
Even the old ones that had been.
Yeah, all the old ones that had been just used in storage kind of a thing for emergency, everything was out running. And they couldn't build new ones because all the metals and stuff were rationed for tanks and airplanes. It's okay. We're going to go. Okay?
I had one other question.
One
One
other
more
question.
Yeah, one more question. The trolley cars that ran in Washington D.C. Where were they all manufactured? Were they different places, or were they all?
Yeah, several different places. St. Louis Car Company, the Brill Company. I'm sure some other places as well.
Yeah, well, it's amazing all the different ones that they have too,
Yeah.
especially in your collection too.
Yes.
So.
Okay, we gotta go.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Kids are playing out there. That's what Paul has to do.
That's when I wrote it.
Yeah.
During the war. That's when I wrote them. During the war. I would be about 6 or 7. Yeah. In Williamsport too, I wrote them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice. They really, yeah. In Williamsport, right? Were they like this? Were they bigger than this? Were they like this or
They
small?
were like this.
Yeah.
That was during the war. See, they didn't
Yeah.
have buses and stuff.
Right. See how it turns around there? See the turnaround? Now this is where the trolley turns around and goes back towards the museum, back the other direction. You can see the people that run the trolleys. They take a lot of, remember what he was saying about them being all volunteers? They take a lot of pride in what they do here, and that's one of the reasons I like having something like this where not far from where we live. In Maryland, it's about 19 miles from where we lived. I think it was about 19 miles from where we live, maybe about 19 miles from Maryland where we live. So it's not too far away. It is a lot of fun to come out here and do this too. It's nice because you get to see both sides of the green, the scenery. Thank you very much for coming with me today, Mom.
You guys. See if we can send them. Keep our eyes on. I'll look for detail.
That's beautiful, isn't it, Mom? With the trees so over the top? Huh? Yeah, this is how they used to travel, Mom. Huh? You remember that too, right? Boy, these are built well, aren't they? They're really built durably, aren't they? And they're really sturdy, huh? really glad you were able to come with me today and do this. Isn't that nice? I wanted to do that. Huh? And that's one thing nice. We have a lot of trees. That's one thing I love about the new location. The trees are beautiful. And the scenery around you have to go through here, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful, isn't it, Mom?
It is.
Huh? This is very similar to Ride King's Dominion used to have a train ride that used to go through the park. It's very similar to the train ride King's Dominion used to have years and years ago, the old Dominion
Remember
line.
that? I was
Yeah, the old Dominion line.
Can I talk?
Sure.
I don't want to be on that.
No, you're not on there. You're not on there.
Don't they have that thing in King's Dominion anymore?
No, not anymore. No. Now the train's been gone for quite a while. Yeah, unfortunately, Mom, that ended a while ago. I really like that train, though.
They used to have wild animals.
They did. Yeah, that was on the wild. That was on the safari. They used to have a safari. Nope. Don't have that anymore either. So as you heard us saying earlier, this is a trolley house where they have all the trolleys and things stored here that they have in their collection. Now you gotta notice too that depending on when you come, they run different trolleys on the layout here as well. Depending on the day that you're coming there, they rotate the trolleys out depending on the day that you're here. So that's the trolley house there, and I'm gonna hopefully get a video of that later on for you too. Depending if they'll let the tour go through that part too. As you see, the museum is pretty. You can really get a chance to see what the museum looks like from here. See how nice the building and everything is? That's all new now. That's a new building that they put up.
Now, what about we go see if there's any other trains that you can ride?
Yeah, we'll see the other equipment, yeah. This might be the only one running today.
That was nice, wasn't it, Mom? Huh?
There might be a different one running every day.
Maybe.
And this.
All right, so that's going to complete our trolley tour this time, and then I'll have some more footage for you too as we go along.
It felt like it was longer than.
Yeah, I know that. Because he told me.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you again, by the way, for coming on the National Trolley Museum tour here that I gave today. And also I wanted to thank you again for tuning into the Curse Plus channel here on YouTube. If you want to find out any information about the National Trolley Museum, go ahead and just go to Google and you can put in National Trolley Museum. They'll tell you a little bit more about the hours and operations and things like that they have. And also, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with my current videos and things I have to offer. And also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment window below. I want to thank you again for tuning into the Curse Place channel here on the YouTube, and we'll catch you on the next video. Have a great day now. Take care.